Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I have a delicious, comforting dessert for you, rice pudding. Most of these ingredients you can probably find in your pantry, and it's pretty easy. So for this recipe, you're going to need 3 cups of milk, a 1/4 cup of white sugar, 1 egg, 1/2 cup of white rice, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, some orange zest, vanilla, and some ground cinnamon. Today I am using my Dutch oven that has a lid to cook my rice pudding, but any pot with a lid will do. We're going to start by adding our rice, and for this particular recipe I'm using 1/2 cup of just regular white rice. You want to add just 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and then we're going to add our milk. And I'll be honest, in a perfect world I would probably use whole milk for this, but we had 1% on hand. We had these little cartons that were going to be expiring in a couple days, and I wanted to use them up, which is what inspired this recipe in the first place. So you need 3 cups of milk, and then you're going to turn your heat to medium-high, and you're going to bring this mixture to a boil. Make sure you give your rice and milk a good stir because it will stick to the bottom of the pan once it starts to heat up. And throughout the cooking process, this is not a recipe you want to walk away for too long. So as you can see, it is coming to a boil. So I'm going to turn my heat down to low, and then we're going to simmer this for 20 to 25 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to put together our egg and sugar mixture that we're going to mix in at the end. So you're going to need 1 egg. You want to beat this really well. And to your egg, you want to add your 1/4 cup of sugar. Now, I don't like my rice pudding super sweet, so you can definitely up the sugar amount if you want, and you can even use brown sugar. I've used brown sugar and it adds a rich depth of flavor, so if that's what you have on hand, feel free to use it. You also want to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Next, you want to add some orange zest to your pot of rice and milk while it's simmering. And this is optional. If you don't have oranges on hand, you can definitely leave this out, but it adds such a great flavor. You just want to zest the outer dark part of the orange, and this adds such a brightness to your rice pudding. I absolutely love adding this in. I think it just takes it to a whole new level. Make sure to remember to keep giving your mixture a stir so that way it doesn't stick to the bottom of your pot, and you just want to let this simmer. So while it's simmering, we're going to add our cinnamon to our egg mixture. I'm using 1/4 teaspoon, and then you just want to mix that mixture up. You want to place your cover on your pot, but you want to leave a little spot for it to vent. So I like to leave my spoon there just as a reminder. This is what the consistency of your rice pudding will look like about 3/4 of the way through. So as you can see, it hasn't absorbed all the milk yet. This is what it's going to look like when it is done. It has thickened, it smells amazing, and it has a nice creamy texture. So we want to add our egg mixture in, but we don't want it to curdle. So we're going to temper our egg mixture by adding a small spoonful of our hot rice into our eggs and whisking it vigorously. Make sure you don't let it sit, whisk it right as soon as you add it. And then I like to add another spoonful, give it another whisk, and then you should be ready to mix this into your pot of all of your pudding. This step is really important, especially if you don't want scrambled eggs in your rice pudding. So take the couple extra minutes to temper it and then just go ahead and stir it right on in. As you can see, this incorporates really easily. You just want to stir it until it's combined, and then your pudding is finished. Now it's just time to plate it up. I decided just to use 4 of my favorite ramekins, but you can use jelly jars, bowls, whatever you choose. This recipe brings back so many memories, and when my husband walked into the kitchen, he put it so well. He said, "That smells like my childhood." I like to sprinkle a little extra cinnamon on top, but that is optional. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. This is a recipe that I wanted to share because these are things that hopefully you have in your pantry and you can whip up a nice comforting dessert for you and your loved ones. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed because later this week I have a pantry cook with me. I hope you are all doing great, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.